or look for my family of sauces at your local grocer.
I feel great when I tell everyone about the deal I got on my new car. I just don't feel so good being seen in it.
It's not a great deal unless it's a great car.
Toyota Camry gives you both, with the quality and value to be America's best-selling car again in 2003. Now get 1.9 financing for 60 months on Camry, or choose cash back. Remember, it's not a great deal unless it's a great car.
What was I thinking? I should have gotten a Toyota.
See your Toyota dealer before it all ends, February 2nd.
Cavaliers looking for win number 14 this year, also hoping to beat Seattle for the second time in 7 days. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Gunda Arena. I'm Andy Baskin. Tip-off just a few moments away. Now, as the guys told you a little bit earlier, LeBron James will not play tonight because of that sprained ankle. We had a chance to talk to Paul Silas earlier today and Kevin Ollie, who will be in the starting lineup, and the coach is hoping that a lot of players can get into the mix to kind of fill the hole for LeBron.
It's an opportunity for a lot of people tonight because, you know, Z's not going to be here, LeBron's not going to be here, and I keep telling the guys to be ready that their chance will come, and this is their chance tonight.
I think that he has faith in me, and I'm just hopefully I can continue to go out there and display my talents in the fourth quarter and have big, you know, starts in games or whatever he has me to do. You know, I just want to go out there and play aggressively and play hard and play through my mistakes and just learn and just grow as a Cleveland Cavalier this season.
So there you have it. Paul Silas looking to spread things around tonight. Kevin Ollie will get the start. This is also the first of 5 home games here at Gunda Arena. Let's send it back over to Matty Gukas and Michael Reagan.
Andy, you're right, and don't think the Cavaliers have not earmarked these 5 to springboard themselves to what they hope will be a strong second half of the season. This being game number 41 tonight, exactly the halfway point. My partner is back with us inside Gunda Arena. Matty, how did the Cavaliers attack Seattle tonight?
Well, Seattle is a perimeter-oriented team. You want to bang them as much as possible, even on the interior, without Zydrunas Ilgauskas. And you still have some inside threats without Z. You've got Eric Williams, who can post up, and of course Carlos Boozer can do a lot of damage on the offensive board. Seattle, the worst defensive rebounding team in the league. And Ray Allen, you got to throw the kitchen sink at him at some point. And I'm talking about the fourth quarter. That's when Ray Allen usually revs up his game just another notch.
Got to go in early last week in Key Arena, but yes, second half yesterday in Philly. Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Ford. So for the Cavaliers, Eric Williams, Carlos Boozer, and Tony Petit, the front line tonight. Zydrunas Ilgauskas suspended, of course, for the fight with Greg Ostertag. Kevin Ollie joined by Kedrick Brown. Ollie's first start of the year, he was big in overtime for the Cavaliers in Utah. The Cavaliers, coached by Paul Silas, will take a peek at the Seattle Sonics momentarily. For now, time to get to the hoop here on Fox Sports Net. Seattle, Nate McMillan's ball club will go with Rashard Lewis, Calvin Booth, and Jerome James. Vladimir Radmanovich now coming off the bench as of yesterday, and Ray Allen and Brent Berry, that veteran backcourt. And Nate McMillan, all about the Seattle Sonics, played with them for 12 years now in his 4th year as the head coach. This is Rashard Lewis. That twisting jumper would not go down, and Lewis has been struggling with the shot of late.
And that's probably one reason why Nate McMillan, their coach, wanted to go inside to Rashard Lewis, try to get him off with a basket closer to the hoop. And Carlos Boozer continues his shooting ways.
Is it the fourth quarter and overtime still out in Salt Lake City? Matty, seriously, Carlos Boozer had one of the most dominant 17-minute stretches that these guys have laid on in quite some time.
Remarkable comeback against the Utah team, although somewhat banged up, but still very tough in their home building.
Calvin Booth will drop that fadeaway jumper over Carlos Boozer. Want to remind you, we take a look at our team uniforms presented by Cintas, the uniform people. Cavaliers, of course, in the wine and gold here at home in Seattle in that northwest green and gold. And my partner did not like the retro look of the Sounds last week at home. Matty, was fun, though. I saw Slick Watts, Lenny Wilkins, Jack Sikma. Who else out there?
Freddie Brown?
Freddie Brown was there, yeah. So a lot of fun out in Key Arena last week. Cavaliers ended the fun, though, with the Sonics with that big win. Now Kedrick Brown being checked by Ray Allen. Shot clock is at 4. Boozer's going to have to turn and gun. Tony Battie on the offensive glass. It's been one of Battie's fortes since joining the Cavaliers.
And there'll be plenty of opportunities on that glass, even with the two big players in there, Jerome James and Calvin Booth. Still not a very good defensive rebounding team. I say not very good, last in the league.
Tony Battie dropping that jumper. What Seattle allows just about the most, well, they do the most second chance points of any team in the NBA. 7-1 Jerome James trying to muscle it off the glass. Carlos Boozer to come away with it. Cavaliers the offensive end. Seems a little strange not to see number 23 in the floor. Tony Battie. Oh, that's man size with power. He just baptized Calvin Booth on the throwdown.
Very soft interior defense of the Sonics. Booth taking a little bit of a risk there, going on the outside, or I should say the inside around outside, to try to get a piece of that shot. And although Booth a good shot blocker recently in the game, 10 block shots and no rebounds
against the Cavaliers last week. Got to tell you a story about that, though. I go into the Cavaliers locker room as Tony Battie completes a three-point trip. Battie looks at me and says, Greg, he did not block 10 shots. Cavaliers had him at about 6, maybe 7. They thought there was some slop in there from the official score.
he was in the arena when somebody tipped the ball.
Jerome James just got hit with a push-off, so that'll be the first on Jerome James. And again, Nate McMillan went with Jerome James and Calvin Booth rather than Vladimir Radmanovic yesterday. Radmanovic came off the bench and provided big offense. This is Eric Williams going glass. Williams will see a lot of post-up work tonight.
Yeah, and Radmanovic considered to be a key to this team, in particular because he's such a weapon from beyond the arc, good three-point shooter, and of course they feel when he plays well, the team plays well.
Brett Barry, pick and roll, Jerome James on the throwdown.
Well, I think also Nate McMillan wants to get something from Jerome James. He doesn't know from game to game, minute to minute, what he's going to get, so he figures warm him up, start him, try to get some early hoops. He played very well coming down the stretch in Philadelphia yesterday.
Now Kevin Ollie in rhythm. Wouldn't go down for Ollie. Cavaliers will go with Kevin Ollie and Keebrick Brown in that starting backcourt and bring DeJuan Wagner off the bench. Wagner had his best performance in the 7 he's played in that Cavalier win in Seattle.
Yeah, Wagner still trying to find his way, coming back from the knee injury and surgery.
Former UConn teammates going at one another. Here's Brett Barry to tee up that triple that's right there. Matty, no surprise. Brent Barry, the free agent to be, really fills the stat sheet every night.
And he is the subject of trade rumors in the NBA. A lot of people think he may wind up with the San Antonio Spurs before the trade deadline, February 19.
Carlos Boozer still stroking away, perfect on that face-up jumper. So Boozer starts 2 for 3 and all of it from the perimeter.
A little bit of a surprise there, although it is a taller front line with Booth and James in there.
Off the Calvin Booth missed jumper. Kevin Ollie to push. Off the hands of Carlos Boozer, but evidently, yeah, it was last touch Boozer, but wait a minute. Tony Brothers saying that it was slapped away by Calvin Booth, keeping with the Cavaliers. With still plenty on the shot clock at 19. Keebrick Brown put it on the deck, and that pass was had too much sauce on it, right through the wickets of Carlos Boozer.
Carlos getting some tough passes to handle in close quarters. Usually when you're going to give a big man the ball down on the baseline from only about 6 or 7 feet away, got to put it on the floor first.
Ray Allen operating against Eric Williams. With a ball reversal from Brent Barry. That long board off that missed 3. Seattle loves to hoist the 3. Only Sacramento and Houston do it more in the NBA. Jerome James threw it up on the glass. Kevin Ollie on a push out. Ollie all the way to the rack. And one. Kevin Ollie, strong step to the hoop. Took the Seattle foul.
And took our baseline cameraman out in the process, because Kevin Ollie tripping over him. But Seattle, with so many long jump shots, you would think they'd be in good position to get back in defense. That was an interior shot from Jerome James, but they are a very weak team in transition defense and consequently give up a lot of points.
Kevin Ollie joins the party that had been exclusively Tony Battie's and Carlos Boozer. The 2 front quarters had given the Cavaliers their first 9. Jerome James got swatted by Tony Battie, and then last touch James. And Tony Battie very lively with the legs early going.
And I guess Tony Battie is listed at 7 foot. He's in that area, 6'10", 6'11", and he's kind of dominating the 7-footers right now, both ends of the floor.
Very long is Tony Battie, and loves to challenge shots around the defensive rim. Now Boozer wants it against Booth. Eric Williams posting up against Rashard Lewis. Williams will raise up, go get to the free throw line. Cavaliers done a terrific job. 5 team fouls already against Seattle. They're in the bonus right now for the rest of the first quarter.
Well, for the most part, attacking the basket with the exception of a couple of jump shots by Carlos Boozer. But you got Eric Williams at about 6'7", posting up against 6'10" Rashard Lewis. But Rashard Lewis is a very soft 6'10", playing the small forward spot right now.
There's your team foul story. Eric Williams has been solid. His last 3 games averaging better than 14 points per game. Almost 5 boards and 3 assists to boot. So really getting it done at that starting small forward spot now for Paul Silas.
And of course, you know you're going to get intensity at the defensive end and leadership on the floor and in the huddles.
Now this is Ray Allen. It rattled on Allen. Jerome James on the offensive glass. Antonio Daniels, the Ohioan out of Columbus. Bowling Green, former Mid-American Conference Player of the Year on the floor. Daniels thought about the triple. Now they'll step into the jumper that's right there.
Daniels has been getting more and more playing time the last 2 weeks or so, getting the minutes that normally Luke Ridnour, their rookie out of Oregon, was getting. But Seattle certainly within hailing distance of the playoffs, so they're going to go with their more veteran players.
Eric Williams leans into Booth. A little bit too strong on that foul line jumper.
Yeah, Eric was trying to draw a contact. The officials are really not giving that to the offensive player as much as in past years.
Now Ray Allen trying to use that Jerome James pick. Allen looking for space. Got it up on the glass. That's pretty from Ray Allen. Slashing to the goal with the Cavalier foul. Now it'll be Ray Allen at the free throw stripe when we come back. Tony Battie has been instrumental early on.
Tony Battie without his partner, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, a big load to carry tonight. So far, more than holding his own.
For next season, every game is a new.
Teams remain at full strength.
On a Tuesday, and that'd be very good. It could happen on a Wednesday, we're telling you it could. It could happen on a Friday, wouldn't that be great? It could happen on a Saturday, so you don't have to wait.
With Mega Millions every Tuesday and Friday and Super Lotto Plus every Wednesday and Saturday, you can win millions with the Ohio Lottery 4 days a week, every week.
Want you to stay with us tonight here on Fox Sports Net. Best day of sports show period's all about Super Bowl time, huh? NFL Galaxy of Stars, Michael Strahan, Johnny Morton, Darren Sharper, Jamie Sharper, Marcellus Wiley, Anthony McFarland, and Jalen Rose stops by Toronto's Raptors to talk a little bit of hoop. Best damn sports show period after Cavaliers in the Post on Fox Sports Net. LeBron James wearing the interlocking NY with his New York Yankee hat on, making his appearance on the Cavalier bench. A little bit funny, as we said, Maddie, as Ray Allen finishes off the 3-point trip. Get his first marks in the books. Game number 41, first time LeBron James not in uniform. Plays 40 minutes a night, as we know. This is Eric Williams. Ray Allen stayed down on him. Shot clock at 5. Tony Batiste to raise up. Williams on a putback. Kedrick Brown had a stick back. Boozer on the glass. Brown to triple and bury it out of that left corner.
Well, this has been a big complaint for Nate McMillan. He feels his team just does not play hard enough. And really just saw the big guys, James and Calvin Booth, just standing around flat-footed, not going for the ball. They'll rebound it if he comes right to them, but they won't chase any down.
Cavaliers by 5. This is Jerome James. Went up and under, didn't finish. But a putback will go down from Rashard Lewis. Rashard Lewis, one of the tremendously talented young small forwards in this league. He's now in his second year out of Elsick High School in Texas. Kedrick Brown feeling it from the baseline. It's going to come up very short, just barely graze the iron. Ray Allen, deep triple, and put it down.
And Kevin Ollie knows better than anybody else that, of course, he was involved in that trade last year, going over from Milwaukee to Seattle with Ray Allen. That Ray likes to pull up and shoot that 3, but again, he's just a little bit leery of getting up and closing out on him. We're worried about the drive more than the 3.
Carlos Boozer settling for that mid-range jumper that crawled across the rim. So Seattle now with a chance to take the lead inside the 4-minute mark. Allen being checked by Kedrick Brown. Ray Allen still on the handle. Shot clock now at 4. Daniels, terrific look to Jerome James, who punched it.
It sure was. Daniels was in a heap of trouble there. The shot clock was winding down, and he was some 35, 40 feet away from the basket. And nobody with Jerome James.
Seattle with their first advantage of the night. Kevin Ollie to try to get it even. Cavaliers now missed their last 2 field goal attempts since the Kedrick Brown 3. The Sonics on the final night of 4 and 5 nights. They got blown out in Madison Square Garden in Washington. Last touch Carlos Boozer, and then with a big rally last eve of yesterday afternoon in Philly.
They've been about the most schizophrenic team in the NBA this year. That's saying something with so many teams doing goofy things. But of course they got off to a reasonably good start. Started out over in Japan without Ray Allen. Had to play 25 games without their star player and did reasonably well. But then they had a good stretch. Then they lost 4 in a row. Lost to Cleveland and Golden State. And then big win yesterday against Philadelphia. So they've actually been just as good on the road as they've been at home.
Rashard Lewis misfiring on that jumper. Ira Newble on the floor now. This is Tony Batiste. Came up short. Cavaliers missed their last 3 jumpers. They're going to get the basketball back as Calvin Booth had too much on it off the hands of Rashard Lewis. All right, we're inside the 3-minute mark. Cavaliers back home for the first of 5 straight at the gun against Seattle.
More and more people are coming to the same conclusion. The Hyundai Accent makes sense. It's loaded with standard features like front side impact airbags. And only Hyundai has America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. No wonder the Accent's the #1 seller in its class. The 2004 Hyundai Accent, starting at just $95.39. When your car makes this much sense, you win. Get a 2004 Accent with 1,000 cash back or 0% APR.
Introducing Subway's new Atkins-friendly wraps, like the savory chicken bacon ranch wrap and the turkey and bacon melt wrap. Packed with all the delicious taste you'd expect from Subway, but with under 11 net carbs, they'll help you satisfy your low-carb goals. As for your other goals, like avoiding your in-laws indefinitely, well, there you're on your own. The new Atkins-friendly wraps from Subway. Good, so you don't always have to be.
See, now aren't you glad that I wanted the heated seats in all this room?
Liz, right now it's not about that or the DVD. It's about the Hemi. Power, capability, big-time towing, end of story.
Dodge Durango, the ultimate authority in winter driving.
You can handle it from here?
Thanks for the talk.
The all-new Dodge Durango. Big size, smooth ride, Hemi power. Starting under $26,600.
Downtown Cleveland sparkling in the Arctic chill. Our aerial views courtesy of our friends at Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company's Akron-based blimp Spirit of Goodyear. Goodyear blimps, if you know, have a 79-year tradition as aerial ambassadors and icons of the 105-year-old company. Good look, guys, from way up high. Let's take a look at our Jared Gallery of jewelry. Shining star. There's LeBron James, of course. Points, minutes, and assists. Either 1 or 2, and 27 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists in the win over Seattle a week ago.
And he obviously has the ball so much of the time, either looking to create a shot for himself or for a teammate. And right now, it's Cavaliers going to try to find a way to get some good shots for people. But so far in this one, Michael, settling for too many perimeter jump shots.
Carlos Boozer, strong through the paint, and Carlos going to get to the free throw line. Maybe Paul Silas said something about that, don't you think?
I think so. Again, just shooting 6 for 17 from the field so far. And that's not going to get it done unless you're really hot from the field, and you're not going to stay that way the whole game anyway. You got to mix it up, and if at least the ball goes inside initially, and then you kick it back outside for a jump shot, so be it. But at least explore the interior against this very weak inside game of the Sonics.
Here comes Richie Fromm, the former Gonzaga Bulldog, into the fray now, as Cavaliers saw him last week along with Luka Ridenour. They're the people's choices out in Key Arena, both of them, the Oregon Duck and the Gonzaga Bulldog. Carlos Boozer, in addition to that 21-point, 11-rebound fourth quarter and overtime the other night. Matty were perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw stripe down the stretch in overtime as the Cavaliers were trying to hang on to 1- and 2-point leads. Now this is Calvin Booth. Richie Fromm, he's going to touch it and let that triple fly. Boozer kept Radmanovic off the glass. Ali's in a hurry. The birthday guy, Ira Newble, will misfire on his first jumper. Carlos Boozer, offensive glass, and the goes. 8 first quarter points for Boozer already. Calvin Booth with that jump hook to connect.
Yeah, you can't fall asleep in transition defense whether you score or not. The Sonics are coming right back at you. They are not a tough physical team, so they have to do it that way with the three-point shot and with running the floor.
Boozer being doubled. Found the tee with a tremendous look for the crush.
Well, again, Radmanovic not strong enough to deal with Carlos Boozer inside. You see Seattle so worried about it, coming and doubling very quickly, and a good read by Tony Battie to go right to the front of the rim.
Ronald Flip Murray on the floor. He was a scoring sensation while Ray Allen was down. Somehow found a knifing Antonio Daniels in traffic, and Carlos Boozer got whistled.
Well, this is in transition, and Carlos Boozer just almost coming over the top of Calvin Booth, and then that double team coming. Carlos saw it and able to get a good enough passing angle to Tony Battie, and that's exactly where that other big man should go, right to the basket.
And how often do we talk about that when Zydrunas Ilgauskas has the basketball on one of the blocks, and maybe Paul Silas hoping for more movement from the other big. Huh?
Well, again, when you're missing two key players like Z and LeBron James, now you really have to do all the little things. Your execution has to be much sharper. You have to pay attention more to detail, and we certainly saw it on that type of play.
Well, Antonio Daniels, former Bowling Green, as I said, MAC Player of the Year, splitting the pair of free throws. Daniels in the book now with his third point of the night. Cavaliers by 1 and with the basketball. 70 seconds left. Boozer from the baseline. Didn't happen for him. Radmanovic to scrape it off. Vladimir Radmanovic, 6'10", averages 13 points, 6.5 boards per game.
And as tough as it is for him to guard Carlos Boozer, it's that much more difficult for Carlos to guard him, and that's the reason why. Because Radmanovic does most of his work beyond that three-point line, and that's a tough cover for Carlos.
Boozer got at the fall with a left hand. I do not know what Richie Fromm was thinking he was going to do with Boozer. A little bit of a strength and size difference, and Boozer made him pay.
Well, Fromm was doing the right thing, trying to make sure Carlos Boozer couldn't get a layup or a dunk, and he grabbed the right arm and shoulder of the area of Carlos Boozer. But that's certainly not enough to keep Carlos from getting a three-point play.
Boozer with a career high 32 on Saturday night, 11 here in the first quarter. 2 for 1 for Seattle if they want it here to wind down the first. Radmanovic being checked by Ali. Daniels will turn the corner. That leaning gun goes for Antonio Daniels.
Well, he caught Ira Newble just flat-footed there. He just stopped and didn't really stay with Daniels to challenge that shot.
Cavaliers can just about use it all. They had a couple seconds separating game and shot clock here as Daniels hawks Kevin Ollie. Shot clock at 8. Ollie wants that Boozer pick up top. Boozer just crushed Antonio Daniels. Ira Newble tried to stick back to the miss. 1 second left. Daniels would have counted had it gone from about 40 feet. All right. 12 minutes in the books. Been tied 6 times and 5 lead changes. And Cavaliers have gotten offense from Kevin Ollie in a starting role tonight. And Carlos Boozer with his 11 first quarter points. LeBron James having to spectate for the first time this year.
The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Head to Buffalo Wild Wings for their award-winning wings, spun in one of 12 signature sauces.
Buffalo Wild Wings. All the essentials. Weeknights, it's a who's who on the best damn sports show, period.
The Rock, Pamela Anderson, Chris Rock.
You just move your hips in a circle.
That is must-see T-Busy right there.
Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Growing up, Fred and Ernie were very close. They had to be. They were born joined at the finger. But then everything changed when Ernie became one of those bandwagon fans.
Check out my new Lakers jersey.
You know you're gonna lose? Oh, I'll see you later. Yeah! Booyah! Yeah! Booyah in your face!
So while Fred has no choice but to put up with teams he doesn't care about, thankfully, you do.
The new Ford F-150 has the strongest, toughest frame, the highest payload capacity, the most towing strength, and the quietest interior. So what do you give the truck that has everything? The 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year Award. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
You know, Bugsy, in our line of work, I'm glad we have that insurance. What insurance, Doc? Nope, that's not it. The one that pays you cash if you get hurt and can't work. And it's right on the tip of my bill. Flapjack.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Tink, I knew the name all along.
Cavaliers down by 1, trying to beat the Seattle Sonics for the first time in Gund Arena. First time in the city of Cleveland since 1993. All right, let's take a look at the numbers from the first 12 minutes of basketball, brought to you by Dodge. Matty, Seattle shoots 46%, and you said this pace favors the Sonics.
Yes, it does. If this game is up in the hundreds, it clearly favors them because of their firepower, and Cavaliers missing their 2 big scores. Now, the game always slows down as it wears on, and generally slows down dramatically in the fourth quarter.
All right, Jason Capono on now for the Cavaliers. He and DeJuan Wagner running the backcourt. Wagner off that down screen. The Wani floater, he touched it up nicely. It'll drop. Don't you think Cavaliers need a strong scoring night from DeJuan Wagner?
Yeah, that would help. And Jason Capono on the floor right now to match up with Richie Fromm. He's not guarding him right now, but Jason can spread the floor a little bit with his three-point prowess, shooting close to 50% from beyond the arc.
Flip Murray too strong with his first field goal attempt. Capono fading away. Boozer will battle on the glass. Boozer still trying to keep it alive. And it will be Who's basketball? Cavaliers basketball. Manny, let's look at Carlos Boozer's first quarter.
Well, starting the game, I thought Carlos Boozer was going to have to do most of his damage in and around the basket, getting to the offensive boards, and he comes out, knocks down his first 2 shots, and then gets to the offensive board, and that time just overpowering little Richie Fromm.
11 points, 5 boards already for Carlos Boozer. He may go about 45 minutes tonight, according to Paul Silas. We'll see how it shakes out. Ira Newble celebrating his birthday today. Shot clock at 8. DeJuan Wagner. Sagana Diop. Twisting jumper. Looked good, leaving Sagana's hands. Sagana getting back into the fray, and he'll see a lot of minutes tonight. Antonio Daniels turned the corner, went all the way to the hoop, didn't finish.
It's a very small team out on the floor for Seattle right now. Absolutely no shot blocking, and that's what you should do, what Wagner did right there. Take the ball to the basket, take it strong.
Cavaliers all over that offensive glass once again. Jason Capono lost it, turned it over. Here comes Darius Miles to check in to give Carlos Boozer a blow. Darius Miles, I'm sure all of you know by now, missed practice yesterday. Said the alarm clock, Matty, was set on West Coast time here in Cleveland. And
that happened. Change of time when you're out there and have been on the road as long as the Cavaliers, you do get discombobulated as to what time it is and to what city you're in. But you still got to come to
you
practice.
got to get to practice, yeah. Darius a little bit lighter in the wallet. That's Ray Allen dancing baseline, and he forced that home between Diop and Miles.
No, that's not supposed to happen. You got to get help, especially when the best offensive player in the building right now. And Ray Allen has the ball. Everybody's got to be looking to help out if he drives the ball to the basket.
See what the Cavaliers get now, going with the bench bunch. That hold, and wisely so. So Ricky will sit down, his first personal foul. J.R. Bremer on the floor. J.R. averaging a little over 5 points per game. The young man grew up on the east side of Cleveland, out of St. Bonaventure. McGetty will challenge Sagana Diop. Drobniak had a putback. Clippers ice cold at the offensive end. LeBron James now being checked by Keon Dooling. A double team help. Ira Newble. Wouldn't go down for Newble from the baseline. Inside the 3-minute mark, Cavaliers with a 15-point lead as James shuts off Keon Dooling. Richardson will play 2-man with Drobniak, who finished it strong at the hoop. And Carlos Boozer coming up a little bit gimpy. Doesn't look like it's anything serious, but Boozer, who has just don't ever see him succumb to any type of even minute injury situation. Maybe rolled the ankle there as he went up and challenged Drobniak. Cavaliers with a 13-point lead as a moment ago. LeBron James being worked on by Max Benton. That's the reaction. Number 1, trying to find where Carlos Boozer, who said he challenged Drobniak, and hard to see if he landed on it, the foot of Drobniak or Sagana Diop.
You almost think of Carlos Boozer as physically invincible. He's got the powerfully built body and bangs around all the time. That's the first time I've seen Carlos Boozer show any signs of being walking out there.
Yeah, so he's going on the floor. As Max Benton
rubbing up a little bit and get out there.
Yeah. So we take a look at our Jared Jewelry's Gallery of Jewelry Shining Star, and first 10 professional games for the likes of Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Kevin Garnett, and the numbers of LeBron James just blow those 3 megastars away. They were all 18 years of age out of high school. LeBron James, of course, the same, the overall number 1 selection. Carlos Boozer stays in the lineup for the Cavaliers.
Clippers man-to-man defense was not very sharp in the early part of the first quarter, so they've got zone now.
J.R. Bremer had that shot attempt rejected. It'll be L.A. Clipper basketball. Boy, J.R. Bremer now just 10 for his last 50. And, Matty, that's a rather chilly 20%. So he hit the 3 the other night. Cavaliers hoping that he finds a stroke.
Well, I think part of the problem is Cavaliers are trying to use him as a backup point guard where he's doing a lot of ball handling out up top. That's not really his strong suit by any means. Where he should be is off the ball as kind of a flare guy, a spot-up shooter. That's what he does best.
The Cavaliers, number 4.
Chris Mim now is going to check in for Carlos Boozer. So Mim, during the course of his previous 3 games, after getting the 6 block shots for the career high, Mim had averaged 13.3 points a game on 53% shooting. And Chris the other night did not get in the book point-wise, but the 6 blocks and 4 rebounds. Corey Maggette with a couple of free throw makes, and the Clippers are back to within 11, as close as they've been for a while. Right now it's J.R. Bremer with Ira Newble, Chris Mim, LeBron James to raise up. A triple try in the hands of Corey Maggette. Clippers chance to get a little bit closer. Quentin Richardson back rim with that jumper. Robniak will run it down. Robniak trying to power his way up against Sagana Diop. Cavaliers again quickly to the offensive end.
Yeah, Clippers matched up a little bit back into the zone. They've gotten 2 straight stops.
J.R. Bremer not able to cash out that 3. Well, Bremer, he has got to keep firing and looking for a shot. Richardson went back rim as he got to the hoop. 6 consecutive field goal misses for the LA Clippers. Now Mim to unload. That'll come up short. And last touch from Chris Mim. Make that the Cavaliers now with their 7 straight field goal misses, as Carlos Boozer is probably going to get another tape job, huh?
Well, right now, this little zone in that last possession, the Clippers were all mixed up. A couple guys playing man-to-man, few playing zone. Cavaliers unable to take advantage of it.
This is Melvin Ely, second-year pro out of Fresno State. That jumper never got to the rim, and Cavaliers can use it all. This first quarter that started so blazing for the Cavaliers, ending with not much of a whimper. As you said, the Cavaliers have misfired on their last 7 field goal attempts. Now LeBron James with 4. James against Dooling lost the basketball, and that will end the first quarter. Cavaliers went scoreless in the final 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Our first quarter numbers brought to you by the good folks at Dodge. And Matty, 14% for the LA Clippers, a ball club that has come in here on a 4-game win streak.
And a key player for the Clippers, Quentin Richardson, who's been on fire the last 3, averaging 27 points, also pulling down 11 rebounds during that time period, playing great basketball. He's 0 for 7. That's a big part of it. But the biggest part of it is Cavaliers defense. For the most part, getting back in transition, stopping the fast break chances for Los Angeles, and then just being very aggressive in the lane anytime a Clipper ventured in there, either blocking or changing a shot.
The Cavaliers and Clippers combined for 36 rebounds in the opening quarter, so there were a lot of availabilities off Clipper misses to be had for everybody. Now here's Corey Maggette taking it strong to the hoop. And he'll finish before Sagana Diop could get there. Maggette's got 9.
LeBron, who has been improving by leaps and bounds with his individual defense, that time got caught flat-footed against a very quick player in Corey Maggette. You got to readjust a little bit, bend those knees a little bit more, and be ready to anticipate.
Ira Newble trying to bounce his way to the hoop. Reverse didn't go down. It'll be Clippers basketball, as the Cavaliers suddenly going very, very cold again now, dating back to that first quarter. 8 consecutive field goal misses.
Well, no fast break opportunities, so the Clippers have solved that for the time being, and also the little zone that they're playing. Nothing all that special, but the Cavaliers using up too much time on the clock and generally settling for a bad shot.
Keon Dooley, that rainbow jumper. See the length of Sagana Diop as he got up on the glass. LeBron James. J.R. Bremer, the triple. Needed it, filled it up. Been a long time coming for JR. Any consistency with the stroke, but that looked good leaving his hand.
Well, he's shooting the three-pointer at 11 for 33 coming in. He's actually a better three-point shooter than that. He's been woeful from two-point land.
Yeah, better from home run range, 33% to 28% overall.
I think it's 30 from twos, but you can see right now that J.R. Bremer is thinking too much out there. In fact, on that last catch, I thought he delayed a little bit, looking for where his feet were instead of just going out there and playing. He's got that deer in the headlight look a little bit.
Well, know this, and the Cavaliers do, as Drobniak can't connect down the jumper. To become a team that is balanced the way Paul Silas wants to be offensively, they need J.R. Bremer to space that floor and hit the three.
No question about that, especially with the bench punch. You got to get some scoring punch, and especially while LeBron James is out getting a breather.
Shot clock at 4. Ricky Davis is back. Davis has got to deliver, and he will bury the jumper. Ricky's got 7. Just checked back in a moment ago. Kevin Ollie on the floor in his 7th year out of UConn. I thought Kevin had his best all-around game as a Cavalier the other night and went over Philly. Drobniak showed it on Sagana Diop, and now is going to get to the line on that Cavalier foul on Chris Mim after Drobniak beat Diop.
Drobniak does not get to the free throw line very often, just 5 for 6 coming into this game. Primarily, he stands out on the perimeter, a lot of pick and pops where he'll just take that jump shot. He does that very well. Good passer, as a lot of the European big men are, and good outside shooters.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas to check back in. Z has been extremely warm. He'll replace Sagana Diop. And again, if you're just joining us, Z averaging 23 points per game in the last 3 on 66% shooting from the floor. As Drobniak will connect on a couple of free throw makes. Kevin Ollie in a hurry against Eddie House, who's checked in. Davis to raise up. Drobniak on the glass for the Clippers. Cavalier lead is a dozen inside the 10-minute mark. Marko Jaric is back, and that's going to be a kick. And it will stay with the Clippers.
Cavaliers are taking some ill-advised shots against his zone defense. The shots are there, but they're not really making the zone work. And to do that, you got to get somebody to flash into the middle, get it in there, and either look to the weak side or look down low on the baseline, where you'll get real high percentage shots against a pretty flimsy zone right now.
Here's Eddie House with his first jumper of the night, and that'll go down for House. In his 4th year out of Arizona State, played with Pat Riley in the Miami Heat. And all of a sudden, the Clippers are back to within 10. Davis with a quick step. Bremer to triple. J.R. Bremer 1 for 3 on the home run ball here in his stint on the floor. Drobniak pounding his way in the paint against Mim. Wave it off, says Derek Stafford, and he has got a hold on Chris Mim. And that'll be 2 quick ones on Chris.
We're seeing Drobniak doing some things that he normally does not do as a low post player. Now putting the ball on the floor. The awkward looking shot got a bad break there. It did not get continuation, so it'll just be a side out of bounds for Los Angeles.
But Darius Miles is going to check back in, and it's going to be to replace J.R. Bremer. As Miles had a strong start. Darius in 9 minutes, 7 points, 6 rebounds. Last year against his former ball club, Miles averaged 13 a game. Jaric will come up very short into the hands of Ilgauskas. Jaric tried to pick the pocket of Ricky Davis. The Davis leaner, very soft, and it'll drop.
I don't think we mentioned enough what a terrific defensive job that Ricky Davis did on Allen Iverson the other night. Now, Allen was banged up and did not have all his troops with him. Nevertheless, Ricky did an outstanding job.
Ollie gave it up to Davis, who found Ilgauskas. Mim tries to power it up. Chris Mim forced it in the hoop.
Just overpowering right now. Z just bullying his way to the basket. Chris Mim getting excellent position. Nothing the front line of the Clippers can do with that.
Eddie House made that extra pass, and Peja Drobniak can do that. Step out on the floor and stroke jumpers.
That's where you'll generally find him, and that's tough for Z to get out there and challenge that shot. Z wants to be protecting in that lane and really not comfortable out on the perimeter defending.
Drobniak with 6. Darius Miles is going to load it up and lace it. Looked real good out of the hand of Darius Miles. Got word on Carlos Boozer as Melvin Eli will misfire on the jumper. Bobby Simmons couldn't get the putback to go down. They're going to jump it up when we get back. So we'll tell you about Carlos Boozer when we come back. Or if you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again. Also by McDonald's in your local Northeast Ohio McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it. And by Toyota, featuring America's best-selling car, the Toyota Camry. Good to have you along tonight out of Gund Arena. Michael Regai with Matt Gukas. Cavaliers lead it by 14. They got off to that big start, but we're told that Carlos Boozer, who came down awkwardly on his right foot while going up to challenge a shot in the second quarter, is being evaluated by team doctors and returned to the game questionable right now. That up to the minute out of the Cavaliers locker room. So that's, as we said, you know, Matt Erdman not used to Boozer leaving the game for any reason at all since he went into the starting lineup in January of the last basketball season.
I mean, you just expect him to always be ready and fit as about anybody in the league.
Yep. Carlos 2 days before he'll celebrate his 22nd birthday on the 20th on Thursday. So happy birthday a couple days in advance to Carlos, who the question is right now, though, will he be able to return tonight? Mim and Ali play a 2-man. Mim's got to fire that deep jumper that's right there. Second field goal make for Chris Mim. He's got 4.
You can see the look of determination on Chris Mim's face. He's feeling good about himself and his game right now. He's found his role with Paul Silas and what he can do for this ball club. And it's been a lot of positives.
That pick and fade for Peja Drobniak. Mim continuing to work over the glass. So Mim and Darius Miles, if Carlos Boozer doesn't return tonight, will get extra work. Well, Ricky Davis got a chance to set the scenes, look at it, and then deliver that triple.
Well, you can see the Clippers, they're just not a good defensive team. And right now with the lineup that the Cavs out there, they just don't respect the outside shooting. Of course, Ricky Davis can knock down those perimeter shots and three-point shots, but nobody within shouting distance of him.
Speaking of threes, Marko Jaric to drain that triple.
He's shooting 53% from beyond the arc. That's outstanding. 10 for 19 before tonight.
Mim flashing wanted the basketball. Zadrunas was going to work off that right block, and Z will be at the free throw line when we come back. Now the Cavaliers trying to go to 4-1 at home and started well, up by 16. Have shared in tonight as we take a look at our Aflac trivia question this evening, testing your basketball knowledge. What player in Clippers franchise history was acquired and traded 6 days apart and later named to the NBA Hall of Fame? Acquired and then traded 6 days later and named to the NBA Hall of Fame. All right, we'll think about that for a little bit and come back and see what we come up with. Zydrunas Ilgauskas will be at the line for the Cavaliers. I mentioned Carlos Boozer and his birthday coming up on Thursday. Do you remember what it's like? I know you do. To chase a 1-year-old around the house?
I do. Yes, I know it well.
I'm doing that now.
And little Cal on November 20th?
No, 19th, tomorrow. He's turning 1 year old, so I know.
That's why you're in such good shape.
Yeah, I'm trying. If that's to be the case, I owe it to chasing him around, which is becoming a big chore on a daily basis.
A lot of fun.
It's a great deal of fun. I love it. So, yeah, happy birthday to our Callisto tomorrow.
I'm sure a big party will be.
Oh, absolutely. We'll look forward to that. Eddie House will step back and misfire on that jumper. As Darius Miles quickly to the offensive end, and Miles will crush it as he went all the way to the hoop. putback now is going to go down from Chris Wilcox. And Wilcox, Matty, you were saying, he's had big games. 5 as a starter.
That's his game, though, right there. Getting out and running. Yarich did a good job of pushing after the dunk by Miles to get it down there and get a quick shot. That's the way I think Mike Dunleavy looks at his ball club and said that's our only chance to just try to outscore some people because they are very weak defensively.
LeBron James ready to check back in. Ricky Davis on the rip away. Eddie House was holding on to Kevin Ollie to not allow the break. As we go back to Darius Miles flying to the hoop.
Well, Darius Miles is starting to play a lot like he played his first 2 years as a Clipper when he came off the bench. Played about 20-24 minutes a game and had a nice role there. And of course, he was on the finishing end of a lot of passes from Jeff McGinnis, who had 2 good years there for them, where they just let him go as a free agent. But it's good to see Darius back healthy and playing well.
Zadrunas stepped through at that dotted line, and he got the roll. So Z, with his 4th field goal make, Zadrunas 4 of 6 from the floor. He's got 9 here in the opening half. And that intended pass down to the baseline to Chris Wilcox went right by him and out of bounds. For the Clippers, Matty, they don't throw the basketball around a lot because shots are going in the air.
Well, actually they do. They average 16 a game, but that's only their 3rd tonight, 4th tonight.
LeBron James turned the corner. Look at that kick out from James. Darius Miles cashing out the jumper. The lead is up to 21 now. Quentin Richardson 2 scores. Chris Kaman on the glass. Kaman, who is adept at using either hand in the paint, not able to connect there.
Well, LeBron James makes things happen as soon as he comes off the bench. That penetration and just that instinct, knowing where everybody is out on the floor and able to make the delivery.
Here's Quentin Richardson now against his best friend Darius Miles. Took a bump from Miles, and if that's Darius, that'll be his 3rd personal foul as he and Quentin Richardson developed their relationship in their 2 years with the Clips.
Well, between Chris Kaman and Quentin Richardson, they are 0 for Cleveland. 0 for 8 for Richardson, 0 for 7 for Kaman. And Richardson has the look of a player right now, looks up at the scoreboard and said, oh, this could get real ugly. I better go get mine. And we used to see that a lot from the Cavaliers last year when they would sense impending doom, and then some players would go just try to get their own statistics, and that's always trouble.
Darius Miles is going to get a blow because of his 3rd personal foul. I remind you, the Indians are celebrating 10th anniversary of Jacobs Field. Season ticket packages starting as low as $180 are on sale now. Number to call, 216-420-HITS to purchase your Indian season ticket, 81 game or partial game plan package. Now inside the 4-minute mark, Cavalier lead is 20. As Quentin Richardson split those pair of free throws. Chris Mim flashes in the paint on Wilcox. Mim with that jump hook. How about that? Perfect from Mim. The bucket, the bump, and he'll go to the line.
Started out with, first of all, good movement off the ball by Chris to catch in the paint, and then that little shove wasn't called on Chris Wilcox. But there was a push there, but Chris strong enough to hold his balance and get that shot off the outstretched arm from Chris Kaman.
There's Chris Mim at the free throw stripe now, trying to complete the 3-point opportunity for the Cavaliers. Mim will do that. Chris Mim averaging 7 points and about 5 boards and shooting 52%.
And depending on how serious the injury is to Carlos Boozer, it could mean a lot more minutes for Chris Mim.
Now Richardson's going to fade away over Ricky Davis. Quentin Richardson having a tough shooting night. LeBron James in a hurry. James in a blur went glass. Ilgauskas to clean it up.
Now, and there's no assist there from LeBron James, but you could almost treat it like that. That kind of penetration makes the defense all react to him, and even the soft miss off the glass results in a fairly easy basket for Zadrunas Ilgauskas.
25-point Cavaliers lead. Not an assist there, as Matty says, but 6 of them on the night for LeBron James, who has been flying around Gund Arena. Advantage their largest of the night All right, let's finish off that Aflac trivia question now. Tough one tonight regarding this LA Clipper franchise. What player in Clippers franchise history was acquired and traded 6 days apart and later named to the NBA Hall of Fame? They were also the Buffalo Braves, right? Before becoming the San Diego, now LA Clippers. Right. Moses Malone. Buffalo, 2 games and was shuffled off to Houston. Moses, who was here in Gund Arena on Saturday night. Quentin Richardson says, well, I need a jumper to go down, and he'll trigger that home. As you hear Paul Silas screaming at the Cavaliers for somebody to get back and help Kevin Ollie. Now Ollie with a blur. LeBron James. And it'll be Cavalier basketball. Well, James was, man, he looked like LeBron's head was up around the square as Richardson came flying at him.
Well, he got that a step too soon. He was a little too far out, but with the long strap, well, he got hit on the head. Now, LeBron, who rarely complains to officials, has been unhappy with the last couple of times he's touched the ball. He felt he has gotten hit. You could see he got hit in the head that time.
Ricky Davis forcing that as he came to that jump stop, but is going to get to the free throw line on that Clipper foul. And that is going to go on Chris Kaman. 3 on Kaman.
Back to that Moses Malone situation. Actually, he was originally picked up in dispersal draft from the ABA. I guess Moses was the Utah Stars at the time. Originally picked up by the Portland Trailblazers. And it was only there about 2 days. Then went to Buffalo and then to Houston.
Yeah.
Right.
Your memory's still right on the money, partner.
Well, I totally forgot the Buffalo part of it. I remember the Portland part.
Ricky Davis at the stripe. I want to remind you, closed captioning tonight being brought to you by our friends at Metro Health. And Ricky Davis having a big second quarter. Ricky's got 14 on the night, 9 of them here in quarter number 2. The Cavaliers are up by 25 again. And Davis now with the assignment on Quentin Richardson. Corey Maggette being checked by LeBron James. Maggette bounces his way to the hoop. Richardson, a strong offensive rebounder for 6'3". Kevin Ollie got that good bounce pass from Ricky Davis, setting sail to the rim, and he'll go to the line.
Well, Quentin Richardson is an outstanding offensive rebounder for a guard, but anytime a guard gets in there on the board and is not successful, it's going to open up some running chances, and Kevin Ollie did a good job to take advantage of it.
As we were mentioning, Manny, is Ollie, who has been the Cavaliers' best free throw shooter at 93% on the year, misses the first. What Kevin had is his best overall game. 28 minutes the other night, 6 points, 4 boards, couple assists, couple steals, and ran the offense well.
I thought he played well in the losing effort in Miami on last Wednesday, too. Did a lot of good things as far as attacking the basket, making good passes in that particular game.
That's what Jim Paxson is looking for, veteran help off the bench. Kevin Ollie and Ira Newble. LeBron James got decked, basketball loose in the paint. Chris Mimmel battle. Quentin Richardson came out of the pack, threw it up at the iron, and now Ollie in a hurry. And there's the bump and the foul from Keon Dooling. Clippers just having all kinds of trouble, shooting 19% on 10 of 51.
It's been brutal. And Quentin Richardson's just trying to do everything himself right now, trying to get his numbers. Got bailed out by, of course, Keon Dooling as the lead guard's going to be back, and small forward Corey Maggette protecting Quentin Richardson, who can get inside. He can get to the offensive board. He's a good post player, but right now he's playing totally out of control. You see that 1 for 12.
Kevin Ollie.
Ira Newble returns.
As Ira Newble will come back in. And Ollie at the free throw line. Zadrunas will sit down. Z with 16 minutes in this opening half. 11 points on 5 of 7.
If it wasn't for that little drought that the Cavaliers had in the closing minutes of the first quarter for 3 or 4 minutes against the zone of the Clippers, they'd have 70 points.
As we said coming in, the Clippers give up 100 and almost 5 points tonight, the highest total per game allowed in the NBA. Score the most, give up the most.
Shades of the old Denver Nuggets,
Yeah.
but the Doug Moe's team, he would claim, and they did. They played much better defense than this team does.
Ira Newble, did you see Newble shut off the paint? Dooling gave it up and turned it over.
Oh, well, Ira Newble's an outstanding defensive player, individually and team.
Well, a minute 20 left in this first half. Kevin Ollie to get the Cavaliers in their offensive set. Moving LeBron James away to the other side of the floor. And Derek Stafford's got a hold on Corey Maggette, I believe. Yeah, it'll be Maggette. Now coming up at halftime, stay right here. Spitzer Dodge and Chrysler Jeep halftime report. Andy Baskin and Austin Carr will take you through. And a chat with Bob Donowell Jr., assistant coaches on Paul Silas' staff. So LeBron at the free throw line. James with his first point of the second quarter. He's got 7.
Maybe the only blip on the screen for LeBron James in this early part of the season is his overall free throw shooting, just 61%. But you get the feeling that will improve as he becomes more and more comfortable playing in the NBA.
Splitting the pair there. Now Dooling on the blow by. Nice give up to Wang Juju on the floor. And Juju, of course, who started with Dallas and hadn't been getting much run with the LA Clippers, Matty.
No, and he's another one of those tall players that does not do much inside, much more comfortable on the perimeter, good outside shooter. But you kind of asked the question way back when, how did this Clipper team win 4 games in a row? Other than they were all winnable games against some poor teams. But you know what happens to a lot of teams, Michael, when they take that early trip to Japan? It's going to hit you eventually. It's grueling. I remember years ago when Jerry Sloan, the Utah Jazz, went over there. It wiped them out for a whole season. Nobody could recover.
And the Clippers did start with a pair against Seattle. And then came back to the mainland, the States. Kevin Ollie trying to turn the corner. Robniak shut him off. Shot clock at 6. Chris Mim had to give it up. And the Cavaliers are going to turn it over. 35 seconds left. Maggette to the rim. And Ira Newble wrapped him up and clipped him. And Maggette will be at the free throw strike.
Paul Silas thinking it was a illegal dribble there. Felt that Corey Maggette picked it up and then put it down again to catch the end of that play. But that's how you commit a hard foul without committing a flagrant foul. And there's a knack to that. You just don't wail away at people, that you got to come down hard across the arms so the arms don't come up, but still make sure that the smart thing Newble did there was grab onto Maggette so he didn't go hard to the floor unattached.
You have to like Corey Maggette's game. Of course, he signed that offer sheet with the Utah Jazz that the Donald Sterling and the Clippers, they said they had to deal with all kinds of free agents, restricted and unrestricted last year, and they opted to keep Corey Maggette.
And Elton Brand. Signed a big one with the Miami Heat and let Andre Miller and
Lamar
Odom go. And Michael Olowokandi, in effect, walked away but did not get a huge contract.
The whole starting 5 from a year ago. Paul Silas telling Ricky Davis, let's get busy. And Derek Stafford said, I'm not going to let this Cavalier offensive set get started. As you said, Ricky Davis carried it and turned it over.
Yeah, and the reason for the crowd reaction is they're so used to seeing all players do that, why do you pick now to make that call?
All right, 10 seconds left in the first half. A perplexed Paul Silas. Looking for his defense to give him a stop. Keyon Dooley. That was sweet. He wrapped around and readjusted. 2 seconds left. Newble on the catch. Newble to the hoop. Did not get the roll. As that flashing hard to the hoop to start this third quarter. The Cavaliers open with Chris Mim getting the call. And again, if you're just joining us, Carlos Boozer will not return tonight. Sprained his right ankle in that early portion of the second quarter. So it is LeBron James with Ricky Davis, Darius Miles, Chris Mim, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. I don't know if that basketball slipped out of Darius Miles' hand because he was right there with no resistance and seemed to lose it.
I'm surprised he just didn't dunk the ball there, as the Clipper defense just totally fell asleep on the underneath out of bounds.
Of course, Wilcox, who got into early foul trouble. And Quentin Richardson, who shot just 1 for 12. Cavaliers running the floor with a lot of white shirts. LeBron James rising high to quick punch that baby.
Well, Big Z was just lumbering down the middle of the floor, and seemingly out of nowhere, LeBron James coming hard in from that right wing. Nice wait and find by Darius Miles. Outstanding defensive job by the Cavaliers on their 2 top scorers, Corey Maggette and Quentin Richardson. 4 for 21 between the 2 of them.
Sweet stroke there from Quentin Richardson. That was a rainbow 3 up into the rafters that fell through for Richardson.
He only shoots it at 33%. It's not the worst in the world, but he has so many other better ways, more efficient ways to score that you would think Mike Dunleavy would like to not see him take as many threes as he does.
LeBron James gave that blind dish to Chris Mihm, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas will bang it down hard. Z's got 13. Paul Silas really yelling out the defensive signals. It looks like Quentin Richardson starting to find the range with a couple of threes. And Paul Silas is going to get a timeout here. Just less than a couple minutes into the 3rd quarter. So we'll take it with the Cavaliers, who lead it by 20 over the Clippers. $1 gift certificate from Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, and a Fox Sports Net gift pack. Now to enter, there's the particulars, set a postcard, daytime phone number, please. Winners will be announced November the 26th. Great to have you along tonight. Hope you're enjoying it. Michael Regai with Matty Gukas here as the Cavaliers for their 4th home win in 5 games. As Ricky Davis on the save after Kaman slapped it away. Shot clock at 4. Davis the deep triple. Quentin Richardson's got Maggette ahead of Davis, and Ricky tried to catch him in the open floor, and Corey Maggette will go to the line. Cavaliers have been sharing the basketball extremely well tonight.
Well, we often talk about how contagious passing can be. When you just get one good passer on your team, it seems to filter through to the rest of the players. And of course, that's LeBron James. He had 6 assists in that first half, and some spectacular ones, some basic ones. He has the whole repertoire on how to move the basketball, and his teammates seem to thrive off it. And they're not going to become great passers like LeBron James, but at least they're thinking extra pass.
Degree of difficulty rather extreme on that last pass, where LeBron is angling through the paint and then kicked it about 20-25 feet all the way to the other side of the floor where Miles was spotted up.
We've seen him contort his body many times, where he goes across his body. It's not something that you would recommend to most basketball players or athletes, but obviously LeBron is not like most basketball players.
That's exactly what Jim Paxson was saying to us the other day at practice. It just amazes when you realize at 18 years of age that he has this kind of basketball acumen. Now Ricky Davis came through a seam, and before he could deliver to Darius Miles, that push is going to go on Chris Kaman, his 4th personal foul. So the MAC most valuable player out of Central Michigan last year with 4 personal fouls, he's going to have to sit down, and Peja Drobniak is going to check back in.
Yeah, it's not been a pleasant start for Chris Kaman, who is coming off his best game as a pro in their win against Orlando a few nights ago.
Cavaliers want to post up for Chris Mihm, trying to take Wilcox. That's pretty. Right to left through the paint, and the delivery with the left hand. Cavaliers get a rip away from Ricky Davis, but Davis wasn't able to finish. Keon Dooling got fouled by Mihm, and on Chris, that'll be his 3rd personal.
Well, we've seen Chris Mihm shoot the ball well from the perimeter. We've seen him have good footwork in the low post. It's not too often that we see him put the ball on the floor and extend himself and finish like that. So Chris is obviously playing with more confidence, and his game seems to be developing.
Quentin Richardson took it strong, but then faded away. Looked like he was going to just explode to the hoop and then backed off.
He's going to try to get his numbers any which way he can.
You've been talking about that. LeBron James with that leaper from the baseline that wouldn't go down. LeBron on the night 4 for 10 from the floor. He's got 9 with those 6 assists. Off the Drobniak miss. And James to redirect it to keep it alive for the Cavaliers. Darius Miles left it short. James stayed with it and tried to find Zydrunas Ilgauskas. It'll go to the Clips.
Yeah, LeBron came out of nowhere that time to try to save that rebound, which I think Paul Silas was concerned that it might start a fast break, but the LeBron, you know, his instincts are so good. You have to live with the occasional mistake from time to time.
Drobniak split that seam between Ilgauskas and before Mim could get there, and that's 3 on Zydrunas. And Peja Drobniak is going to go to the free throw line. Predrag, Maddie, actually P-R-E-D-R-A-G, and known as Peja, a young man from Yugoslavia.
Yeah, it seemed like he came out of nowhere. Played the last 2 years with the Seattle Supersonics, actually the 49th pick in 1997 by the Washington Wizards, but then went and played 2 years in Yugoslavia, 3 in Turkey. And of course the NBA is looking for the European type player, guys that know the fundamentals, can shoot the basketball. Any big guy that can shoot it from the perimeter can bring value to a team.
A 19-point Cavalier lead against this Clipper ball club that the Cavaliers have beaten 11 of the last 15 times. Cavaliers only had 17 wins a year ago, 2 of them over this LA Clipper squad. That Cavalier turnover. This is Chris Wilcox. Wants to take it on Mim. Good give up to Drobniak. Wilcox, Richardson both there. I'm going to go with Quentin Richardson on that putback.
Yeah, he's been hanging on that offensive board. Nothing mysterious about what the Clippers try to do. Get it down, take a quick shot, and then go chase it on the glass and try to get you to play their game. The Cavaliers did that in the first quarter and almost blew them out of the building.
Well, think about it now with Elton Brand, you know, on the floor, giving them probably anywhere between 18 points and 8 to 10 rebounds a night. Some nights better than that. You know, they feel that they are taking the right steps to be better.
Well, they'll play differently when Elton Brand comes back because he is a legitimate low post threat. And he's a guy that can score 20 for you, get 10 rebounds, and he's an exceptional shot blocker. So you want to slow the game down with him on the floor.
Drobniak, jump hook. It goes down for Peja Drobniak. And the Clippers, closest they've been in quite some time, 15-point lead for the Cavaliers.
And there's some danger in that because of the firepower that Maggette and Richardson, they can knock down a few threes, and all of a sudden you're in some trouble.
Ilgauskas was operating baseline, left it short. Davis got a Cavaliers steal. LeBron James. Give it up to Chris Mim. Will take it strong off glass.
A careless outlet pass by Peja Drobniak and Ricky Davis, who's really looking quick out on the floor right now. Both ends of the floor. Body is alive.
A couple of days to recover from chasing Allen Iverson all over Gund Arena.
Ricky was up and down in that game because he was taken out early in the game for a couple of mistakes. Wasn't involved offensively, but to his credit, stayed with it. Stuck his nose in there and took the challenge on chasing Allen around. We mentioned Allen is not 100%, but nevertheless.
Drobniak will rip it away and take it the length of the floor, send it home strong, and Paul Silas says, wait a minute. What happened to that 26-point lead? Tell you what happened. It's been sliced in half. The Clippers on this third quarter push, 9-2 run, have cut the lead to 13. When we come back on Fox Sports Net. We take a look at tonight's Alltel text message question. All right, here it is for Maddie and yours truly. What makes a team slump on free throws from Denny Becker and Cuyahoga Falls?
Yeah, you know, and Denny, you make a good point. Sometimes it seems that way. If 1 or 2 shooters misses free throws early in the game, it sometimes carries over to other players. But it's probably really not what happens. And you know, there's just some nights that, for whatever reason, free throws won't drop. And there's really no explanation for it. I once asked Doug Moe, who had a good free throw shooting team in Denver, why they shot over 80%. He said, I got good foul shooters. So,
seems to work.
Yeah. Seems to solve the problem.
Yeah. The Cavaliers had that shot clock at 2 when Darius Miles went back rim with a jumper. So here come the Clippers. They could cut it to 11, maybe to 10 on this script. Drobniak to raise up. the hands of Keon Doolin. That triple wouldn't go down for Corey Maggette. That would have cut it to 10.
All of a sudden, Cavaliers look heavy-legged at the defensive end, not moving as quickly as they did in early parts of the game.
LeBron James came up short on that triple try. Chris Mihm lost it. Leak out Wilcox. He's a high flyer. And suddenly the Clippers are only down 11.
So the long 3 attempt by LeBron, and he kind of watched it and was a little upset with the fact that they hit that front rim and didn't get back on defense.
The LA Clippers have shaved 15 points off this Cavalier lead. Mim's short jumper wouldn't fall. Crowd starting to sense that this one could get more dangerous. Robniak lost the basketball, but before he did, that Cavalier foul is on Darius Miles, as the Cavaliers have missed 8 of their last 9 field goal attempts.
Well, we're seeing a different Predrag Drobniak, who we say is just pretty much an outside shooter, but we've seen him post up some. Here he's putting it on the floor, trying to get a handle on it, but bumped by Zydrunas Ilgauskas. What the Cavaliers need is some kind of a stop, a steal, block shot, a rebound, and get out and get a fast break layup to get that lid off.
Now Richardson on the block against Kevin Ollie. Richardson got swatted from behind by Chris Mihm. Again, Cavaliers with that 17 block shots the other night. Look at Dooling on the steal. Clipper team, they want to go up and down. Maggette will trigger a 3. That's right there. And this now is an 8-point Cavalier lead.
And give the Clippers some credit. They are getting more aggressive, and they sense the cold shooting and the kind of sensing that the Cavaliers thought they had this game in their back pocket. And now they're energized.
Big run for the Clippers. 16-2 version. Now Davis will turn the corner. Ricky got to the hoop. That's a strong finish from Davis.
Well, that'll help because the Cavaliers have been falling into that syndrome of settling for just perimeter jump shots.
The lead is 10. Ricky Davis was 16 to lead the Cavaliers. 16 for Corey Maggette. That's a push on Zydrunas. That is going to be his 4th personal foul, and Paul Silas going to have to make a move here with Sagana Diop.
Yeah, Z standing straight up on defense, and you could see reached out with both arms and just shoved. When Z is at his best defensively is when he's bending those knees just a little bit and being more alert. I think right now when a team is not going well offensively, and they had been going before, you start to dwell on that and think about what's wrong there instead of just worry about the next play, which happens to be the defensive play that you're involved in.
Now here's Sagana Diop back. Sagana in the opening half got 6 minutes, had 3 boards, and did not score. Peja Drobniak. Maddie and I were just speaking of has had a strong 3rd quarter. Drobniak's double-doubling tonight with 15 points and 10 boards. 8-point Cavalier lead with 3.5 left in quarter number 3. Sagana Diop thought about Chris Mihm, couldn't go there. The double on Ricky Davis. Got to swing the basketball way up top, and LeBron James will rock the rim.
And that was clearly ad-lib. Ricky laughed a little bit as he had to double clutch on that pass and wait for LeBron James to hit the launching pad and get ready to take off, but timed perfectly.
Cavaliers back up by 10 again. LeBron's got 11 with his 4th throwdown dunk of the night. Ricky Davis playing the D, and that's an offensive foul on Quentin Richardson, who doesn't believe it.
Yeah, just a little bit of a hesitation by Ricky Davis as Corey Maggette got caught looking the other way, and LeBron James getting up in the air. Like Ricky's saying, how perfect was that?
Was it just me, or did LeBron kind of recoil almost to say, I got to stay up here a little longer than I thought?
It wasn't just you.
Thank you. Now Chris Mihm thinking about loading up that deep jumper. He'll get it right back. Cavaliers are by 10 and trying to stretch the lead here. Davis off the curl. Good give up to Mihm. He'll smash it. Great look from Ricky Davis.
And you know what's fun to see? Ricky Davis, who is a good passer and can make plays for teammates, and he did it a lot last year. People remember the other things that he's done, but he's having fun passing the ball right now. He's getting almost as big a kick out of making an assist pass than he is scoring himself.
There is Peja Drobniak, as we told you. He's step out beyond that three-point line and connect on threes. He just did a moment ago over Sagana Diop. Drobniak with a huge third quarter.
Ricky coming off that down screen with the curl, and the fact that he comes off textbook perfect and comes off hard, that makes the big man defender react to him, and that's why Chris Mihm gets so wide open on the play.
Well, that was Chris Mihm on that personal foul, his fourth. Well, this is where losing Carlos Boozer now for the night with a right ankle sprain. Zydrunas with 4 fouls, now Mihm with 4 fouls.
And Darius Miles can play some big forward in many cases.
Cavaliers got a rip away. Kevin Ollie got a piece of it. Now Ollie to orchestrate Davis to triple. That would not fall. Keon dueling right now with Quentin Richardson, Corey Maggette, Chris Wilcox, and Peja Drobniak. Richardson sprayed a couple of threes here early. Diop had his hands on it. Davis ahead of the pack. And Ricky got tied up by Corey Maggette. And interesting, in front of referee Derek Collins. So Maggette decided not to, beyond a shadow of a doubt, on Davis. Ricky Davis just booted the basketball about 10 rows deep into the seats. And that's going to cost him.
The quick hands of Sagana Diop coming off with a nifty steal, and then the stand-up tackle by Corey Maggette. And hard to understand what Ricky's doing there. I mean, he can't be all that upset with Corey Maggette, who, yeah, it was hard, and it was one of those borderline flagrant fouls. But the fact that he held him and kept him from going down, kept it, I think, from becoming flagrant. I don't think they called a flagrant foul. They certainly could. But the boot into the stands is a little hard to understand. Now, a week or so ago, we saw Gilbert Arenas throw a ball into the stands at the end of the half and got held out of the whole third quarter by his coach, Eddie Jordan. Here's this hard grab. Yeah, that's not flagrant. That's just a good hard foul. We saw Corey Maggette do it in the first half as well.
That's his second.
Well, we saw the steadiness, Chris Mihm there, but for
I guess
a couple minutes, Kevin Ollie was standing near Ricky Davis trying to keep him under control. And now we're going to get a timeout. So Davis is going to be at the free throw line to shoot him. No Clippers lined up on that line. So we'll see. We'll get this sorted out. Take a timeout and come back and see how it breaks down. Ricky Davis will be at the stripe when we get back. Cavaliers by 8.
When you buy a suit from us, we'll press it for free at any of our 500 locations. And if you travel a lot, that comes in handy.
Lifetime free pressing. Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
At Jack Daniels, we've always liked the idea of time capsules, saving the best of the past for future generations. It's the burying part we've never understood.
Look again, look again.
Ford truck season is here. Check out the pickup everyone's talking about. The only truck that's earned the right to be the next F-150. Plus the new Ranger, Heritage, and Super Duty F-150s are here. And truck season means a low monthly lease payment on the 2004 F-150. Only $299 a month. Ford truck season. On now. Be there.
This one has tightened up considerably in the third quarter, with the Clippers at one point first half down by 26. And Corey Maggette decided not to let Ricky Davis even think about getting a shot attempt off. And he's going to be at the line, Matty, but no flagrant. At least we have not been told there was a flagrant call.
No, and I think what the officials were discussing is whether or not Ricky actually shot the ball or was in the act of shooting. He never got the ball up but there is no question he was going in on what appeared to be a breakaway layup and was about to shoot it. So the intent was there, obviously, and he will go to the free throw line.
So Ricky on the night was 16, pacing the Cavaliers, who have 5 in double figures tonight. All 4 of the starters and Chris Mim. Carlos Boozer leaving only 10 minutes played in this one tonight with that sprained right ankle. So Davis trying to extend the Cavaliers lead to 10 once again. Couple of free throw hits for Davis. He's got 18 and the lead is at 10 at 74-64. Silas looking for his Cavaliers to finish his third quarter strong. Maggette off that down screen. Watch Ricky Davis. Explosion with a little flavor on the end of it.
I'm a little surprised Ricky hesitated there, which could have enabled Corey Maggette to catch up to him again. I don't think he wants to go through that.
Drobniak trying to take job. Glenn Rice on the floor. The 15-year vet. Rice going to the hole. And then the putback will go down for Chris Wilcox. Glenn Rice, one of the finest shooters with range the NBA has ever seen. But 15 years deep in the league, wanted to take that to the hoop.
Oh, defensively, got to get up on him and take him off that three-point line, make him put the ball on the floor, exactly what the Cavs did.
Chris Mim put the ball on the floor, and Chris Wilcox ripped it away. And now here's Rice with his specialty. That spot-up triple is right there. Matty, I think he'll still shoot that when he's about 80.
Yeah, you sit for about an hour and a half watching the game, haven't touched the ball, and I'll just come right off the bench and drive to the basket, knock down a three. He's playing on memory.
The Clippers back in this matchup zone. LeBron James with one, Mim to fire it and got the roll to beat that third quarter buzzer. Chris Mim has had to step in and play big minutes with the Carlos Boozer ankle sprain. Mim with 15 now. Ricky Davis bringing a little spice to it. Cavaliers lead is 9. A wire act going on tonight with LeBron James leading the way in that capacity. We start quarter number 4 inside Gun Arena. You're watching Fox Sports Net, your home for Cavaliers basketball all year long. We welcome you back inside the Gun, along with our producer Bob Pennell, director Doug Johnson, and my partner Matt Gukas. I'm Michael Regak. Kudos to all the crew, of course, as well as the Cavaliers with this 9-point advantage, trying to ring up the LA Clippers. And as we said, the Cavaliers started an important week with back-to-backs twice tomorrow night in Washington, back home Friday against Minnesota, then on the road Saturday in Atlanta. So big week that the Cavaliers are hoping to use to springboard back near 500. LeBron James is going to fade away. Sagana Diop to keep it alive and tried to save, but was standing on that sideline.
Well, in 3 plays in the last 3 minutes or so, Sagana Diop has shown terrific hands, just flicking the ball away, getting a nice steal earlier, and also using some good lateral movement that you don't expect from Sagana Diop.
Oh, J.R. Bremer on the floor right now. So is Ira Newble. Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Sagana Diop, and LeBron James. This is Chris Wilcox. He'll muscle that in the hole. And one on the Sagana Diop foul. And the Clippers, Matty, you can sense they've caught a spark.
Well, they have to be very fortunate, or feel fortunate, going into this final quarter, only down 9. Drobniak surprising as Zydrunas Ilgauskas there with a catch-and-go dribble. And smart play by Drobniak because Z's in some foul trouble, and Drobniak figures he probably won't touch him. So good play to make that pass.
Chris Wilcox starting his 6th consecutive game and averaging 13 points and 8 rebounds as a starter. Completing that 3-point play, and it's a 6-point Cavalier lead. Shot clock now at 6. James off the Diop pick. LeBron in traffic. Keon Dooling on the bounce out. Dooling went way up top to Corey Maggette, who lost the basketball.
Yeah, it looked like it was right there. It looked like maybe Corey Maggette took his eye off it. Last possession, Cavaliers wanted to get the ball inside to Zydrunas Ilgauskas, but didn't move themselves well enough or get the proper spacing to make the entry pass.
And again, Cavalier Ball Club trying to find something they like offensively. It's the closest the Clippers have been since it was 8-2. Ilgauskas will step through. Z got it back, and it lost out of his hands, but LeBron James picking up that loose change and going glass. 13 for LeBron, who 4 times has been at 20 points or better. LeBron shoots about 50% in the Cavalier wins, 40 in the losses. That's pretty for Chris Wilcox. At 6'9" and soft.
Yeah. He looks undersized in there against the big guys, Jap and Ilgauskas, but just really gathered himself to use his jumping ability and then really stuck that arm up there nicely.
This Cavalier lead remains at 6. Ilgauskas traveled with it. Turnover Cavaliers. Chris Mihm will return, and that is going to be for whom? Ira Newble? Or no, Sagana Diop. And Kevin Ollie also to check back in. Darius Miles got saddled with his 4th personal foul. Miles sat about the last 7 minutes of the 3rd quarter. And again, the Cavaliers have been without Carlos Boozer since early in the 2nd quarter due to the ankle sprain. 6-point lead. Jumper from Maggette wouldn't go down, and Wilcox shoved off on Ira Newble. Or rather, Melvin Ely got hit with the whistle as he's the one that pushed. It's our Geico Direct moment, and Paul Silas regarding the 17 blocked shots that the Cavaliers sent away against Philly the other night.
Paul, of course, talks about that as he has observed over his long career, claiming he was never a shot blocker. Most of the shots are blocked. You're usually coming off your own man and helping out a teammate.
Ilgauskas will step to the rim, and Z will get to the free throw line. Drobniak looked like he was caught in between there and showed up a little bit late.
Well, the Cavaliers over the last few possessions have done a much better job of entering the ball to Zydrunas Ilgauskas with the good ball movement, swinging it from one side to the other while Bremer was in there. He was the entry passer, and even though JR not shooting the ball well, you still have to respect his perimeter shot, so that creates a little bit more space to make that pass into the big fella.
Cavaliers, the one thing that Paul Silas wants to see picked up is, as a team, 69% from the free throw line this year. And Silas wants to see that more up in that 75% range.
Exactly, because the Cavaliers are so athletic, so quick, and in the case of Z, a big guy that's going to be banging towards the basket, that you're going to get to the free throw line. You got to take advantage of it.
Here's Glenn Rice. It rattled in and out on him. Eli on the glass. Rice got another opportunity and got it back, and he'll re-trigger.
Glenn is getting paid by the shot. He knows he's not going to be in there very long. He figures he better launch.
Well, Rice has in his, 4 minutes on the floor, he's fired off 4 shots. This is Kevin Ollie. Ilgauskas trying to keep it alive with Drobniak, who sends Eddie House away. 8.5 left. Cavaliers clinging to this 6-point lead. If you're just joining us, the Cavaliers led by 26 in the first half. Off the hand of Glenn Rice and out of bounds. Turnover, LA Clippers. We're going to get a timeout. Cavaliers get to talk about it, so do the Clippers. Don't go away. As the Cavaliers try to find a way to put away the LA Clips.
Hey! The big lead has gone away, and I think another thing that concerns Paul Silas is how the ball club is going to react in the 4th quarter against Philadelphia the other night. They let what looked like a comfortable lead get away, had to go into overtime to pull that one out. But actually, the more you get yourself in this situation, the more you get comfortable.
Ricky Davis running off that down screen and ringing up that jumper. Ricky has had a solid night shooting it tonight. 8 of 13, he's got 22. Ilgauskas playing Drobniak out at the 3-point arc. Now here's Richardson. He tried to cross over, and Z looking to save. Boy, Zydrunas kind of hesitated before he went after the basketball.
I don't know if he saw the ball or not, as Quentin Richardson tried to cross over here. Z saw it and kind of watched it. He would have had that if he reacted in a quicker fashion.
You think he might have thought there was going to be a kick ball call? Hard to say. Oh, Kevin Ollie went up and thought he had all basketball on Eddie House. But House is going to get to the free throw line as Scott Foster whistled the foul on Ollie.
Eddie House looks like a different player with the different hairdo. Lots of ball there, but also when you come up from behind a guy, generally the offensive player will get the benefit of the doubt with some kind of perceived contact. Eddie had to play quite a few minutes the last couple of years for Pat Riley in Miami.
And played well in stretches.
But not a point guard. He has point guard size. He's more of a scoring type of small guard, which there are so many in the league right now.
All right, House will hit a couple, and this lead is a half dozen. Double team on Ollie. Then we'll make that extra pass. Ricky Davis to tee up the three. Ilgauskas had it. Mim had his hands on it. Still loose. Drobniak to squeeze it. House in a hurry. Rice for three. Wouldn't go down. He had a real clean look. Here's Ollie now on the run.
Good decision by Kevin Ollie. Tried the fast break, nothing really developed, so pull it back out.
Ollie with that big step into the paint, going to get to the free throw line. This is what Paul Silas wants from Kevin Ollie too, Matty. And he's running that offense, come hard off that screen and take it through the paint and go to the hoop.
He is very good at coming off that and getting into the paint, and what he's best at is making a pass from there. What he has trouble doing, and has had throughout his career, is finishing for himself. And many times the reason for that is a player that's a good penetrator gets himself too deep. And then you're battling the basket, you're battling the big guys. If you pull up a little shorter, maybe at that restricted line area, now you have a better chance of either making the pass or finishing for yourself.
That Kevin Ollie does well at over 90% on the year. Ollie with a couple of free throw hits. Cavaliers bump the lead to 8 again. Hang on now with 7 minutes left in it. Cavaliers trying to put the Clippers away. Cavaliers had a 28-point lead. That's an offensive foul. Hasn't Ricky Davis been some kind of wonderful on the defensive end? Allen Iverson Saturday night and again tonight.
Well, whatever challenges Paul Silas has presented to Ricky Davis about how to become more of a complete player, Ricky is answering that. He's just playing outstanding defense and, for the most part, terrific offense. It's that occasional kick the ball into the stands that makes you shake your head.
Second time tonight, Ricky Davis has taken the charge after that offensive foul. Davis off the Ilgauskas pick. Too strong on the jumper. Mim will keep it alive. Oh, Chris Mim being man-sized down around the rim.
Yeah, Dunleavy's hot. He felt Chris Mim came over the top that time and may have done that. It's usually an automatic call on a weak side rebound like that when the offensive player gets the rebound.
Eddie House on the blow-by. That jumper never got to the iron. And Chris Mim will pull off his 9th board to go along with 17 points. He has really stepped in after the injury to Carlos Boozer. But this is the way Mim's been playing all year long off the bench.
Yeah, so no real surprise.
Shot clock at 3. LeBron James has got to lift the jumper. He's going to miss wide left as that shot clock expired. LeBron 6 for 15 tonight. Maggette will give it up. Richardson hard to the hoop. And he'll get to the free throw line. Quentin Richardson had that real good look at a 3 and decided against it. Is that Darius Miles?
Yep.
That's 5 on Miles with 5:47 left. Chris Mim being big and strong on both ends.
Yeah, let's see if he jumps over the top of the back of Predrag Drobniak. Hard to tell from that angle. Nevertheless, Chris Mim.
AOL now has
this exciting season, and for the Cavaliers, Matty, is there a way to get back to how they started so strong tonight, and that is getting the off missed shots to be able to turn the floor over and run the LA Clippers? That really hadn't been the case here in the second half.
Well, what so often happens too in fourth quarters, the game slows down a little bit because the transition defense is much better to take away breaks. But if you make a good enough play at the defensive end, which will create a fast break opportunity, you certainly got to look for it.
Quentin Richardson off those 2 free throw makes now with 13 on the night. LeBron James, size advantage on Eddie House. James will wheel him in the paint, but too shy off that glass into the hands of Melvin Ely, who's back in on the floor.
That little shot from LeBron, he shoots it on the way down, tries to avoid contact. He's got to seek the contact there to, if nothing else, get to the line.
Now House came off that down screen. House on the blow by. Eddie House went to the rim with really no resistance after he beat LeBron James up top. Back to a 6-point Cavalier lead. Post up for Chris Mim against Chris Wilcox. Mim, tough jumper that's right there. Chris Mim with 19 on the night.
They can't fault the defense of Chris Wilcox. He played it as well as you can, and Chris Mim just very creative there to get the shot off.
Cavalier lead back up to 8 again. We approach 4.5 minutes left. House is going to quick trigger. Run down by Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Mike Dunleavy didn't look happy with that decision by Eddie House.
Now Marko Jaric, who normally would be playing or possibly be playing in the 4th quarter, he's not played at all in this 2nd half. He's out with a bruised arch.
Yeah, so each ball club losing the starter tonight as Peja Drobniak checks back in. I want to remind you that closed captioning brought to you tonight by the good folks at Metro Health. Darius Miles will sit down as Kevin Ollie comes back in. So Ollie with LeBron James, Ricky Davis, Chris Mims, Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Shot clock at 5. Davis baseline, got a fade away. And that's going to be number 5 on Chris Mims as he went over the back.
He's been getting away with a couple of those. Figured he might as well keep trying if they're not going to call it. Ricky here just going hard to the spot, knowing the shot clock is winding down. You might get away with one of those every once in a while, but not too often there as he pushed Eddie House out of the way.
Interesting to note, 4 minutes left now. That was team foul number 4 in the Cavaliers, so the Clippers will be in the bonus. And they pick up their next whistle, and team foul number 5 in the Cavaliers. Here's Quentin Richardson trying to break down Davis. Ricky stayed strong, and Richardson looked like he changed pivot feet.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He is a good post player, but actually Ricky had him all locked up. Quentin was thinking about passing the ball, couldn't find anybody, so he changed his pivot foot to get that shot off.
Back to a 6-point Cavalier lead. Chris Mim with 5 fouls, Darius Miles with 5. Shot clock at 5 for Kevin Ollie. Got to get started. Ollie on the drive to the rack, and he'll finish it strong. Talked about that a moment ago. Yeah. Cavaliers needed that, and Ollie delivered it. Eddie, that shot clock was ready to go.
And Kevin Ollie knew it and just went hard to the basket and gave himself plenty of room to finish that layup.
Corey Maggette thought he was going to get a whistle and did not. Davis being checked by Quentin Richardson. Inside 3 minutes left. Cavaliers with it and by 8. Now James wants a post up. LeBron's heading right to the hole. Didn't go down. He will get to the free throw line. That 6'8", 242-pound body with 7% body fat took some belting right there. And he'll be at the line. We were mentioning about LeBron being able to take contact. Cavaliers lead as they finish this off tonight. Don't forget, coming up next, Cavaliers in the Post, presented by Pontiac. The complete breakdown of the Cavaliers trying to put away the LA Clippers with Andy Baskin and Austin Carr right here on Fox Sports Net. Matty, LeBron James at the free throw line, and Paul Silas, a young basketball team, trying to obviously get better in general, but also finishing games in the 4th quarter. And this is a big part of it right here, the free throw strike.
Well, I still like the play by LeBron James. Got the ball inside, and this time did not shy away. Knew he was going to face a taller player, took it hard, and even if he couldn't get the field goal, made sure he got fouled.
Well, LeBron splits the pair of free throws. He's got 14 on the night, 8 assists, 6 boards. Right near the averages in all 3 categories for LeBron James on the year through his first 10 games as a pro. The Cavalier lead is 9. Now Maggette's going to raise up. Back back into the hands of Chris Wilcox, offensive board for the Clippers. And a fresh 24. 2:20 left in it. Cavaliers lead it by 9. Make it 7 as Drobniak went to work. Easy deuce.
Well, that high pick and roll situation, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas stepped way up top and totally lost sight of Drobniak.
The Clippers down by as many as 28 tonight, and there's the steal from Chris Wilcox. He came for the weak side to help on Ilgauskas.
We saw him do that earlier in this game. The Clippers have done a nice job of that, coming from the weak side, and Z should be alert to it.
Kevin Ollie got caught with 6'9" Chris Wilcox. There's that 5th foul we were talking about in the bonus for the Clippers. So now they could cut the lead possibly down to 5 here with the clock stopped at a minute 52.
Chris Wilcox taking advantage of the playing time afforded to him with the Elton Brand injury, leading the NBA in field goal percentage.
Not hurting it tonight. He's 5 for 5.
Yeah, and shooting the free throws very well too. 13 for 16 coming into this ballgame.
A big part of the Maryland Terrapins national championship run in 2002, and left school after his sophomore year. Gary Williams flat out said, "Love what you do for us, Chris, but you're not ready for the NBA. But that's what you need to do."
But if you're going to get picked in the top 10,
well, sure, you got to
go.
Got to go. You're right. Ollie with a shot clock at 8. Mim from deep. Got it! Huge jumper that goes for Chris Mim, who's got 21 on the night.
Paul Silas did a little body language to help that one go in. I think he sensed that might have been a step or two outside Chris Mim's range.
Season high for Mim. Quentin Richardson to triple. Davis kept it alive for Ollie. 8-point Cavalier lead. Pressure on Ollie. James came away with it. 70 seconds left. Clippers got to scramble now. Paul Silas says, let's get into the offense. Shot clock at 6. Ollie going glass and got the roll. Big jumper that fell for Kevin Ollie.
Kevin Ollie has been sharp, almost threw the ball away on that possession, but that drive earlier in the quarter to beat the 24-second shot clock in that one, that may have just iced it.
The lead up to 10 again. 45 seconds left. Eddie House with that long-range tray. McGetty high in the glass. Cavaliers will run out. LeBron James and Kevin Ollie going to pull it out and got the contact from Eddie House. And this should just about put it away. As Chris Mim, Eddie, as you said, maybe a step outside of the range, but connected.
Well, absolutely no hesitation at all on the part of Chris Mim, and then Kevin Ollie using that Chris Mim screen nicely to free himself up for the little bank shot. And foolish foul here, although Kevin Ollie misses the first one. Foolish foul by the Cavaliers. Clippers had a chance to foul LeBron James, who's been struggling from the line, and instead foul a 90% free throw shooter.
Kevin Ollie with 8, looking for 9. Ollie will connect and split the pair of throws. Mike Dunleavy's going to burn a timeout. 32 seconds left. Cavaliers look like they've ended the 4-game LA Clipper win streak. Now can they put the Clippers to sleep? Come on back and finish it out on Fox Sports Net. 2 seconds left. They're hopeful of getting this one put away, if not already. Big duo tonight. Ricky Davis, who started shooting it well in the opening quarter, and after the Carlos Boozer ankle sprain early second quarter, Chris Mim has done yeoman's work, Matty.
Well, getting the extra playing time and starting this second half because Carlos Boozer unable to go with that sprained ankle, but Chris Mim has been playing well for the last 4 or 5 ball games and earning his playing time.
Yeah, the career high 6 block shots on Saturday night in the win. Didn't score, no points, but comes back tonight with the 10 of 14 effort from the field. 21 points from Mim. Ricky Davis pacing the Cavaliers with 22. Glenn Rice back on the floor. Eddie House will launch the 3. He'll lace the triple. Back to an 8-point game, and the quick foul from Glenn Rice. And might be beating a processional to the free throw line now.
That's why, even with a 10-point lead, 8-point lead, a minute and 20 seconds, you're still not out of the woods with the 3-point capability, and this team has it. Richardson, McGetty, Rice, House all can hit those threes, and now it's a matter of making free throws.
Cavalier win tonight as you look at the free throw story. The Clippers a +10 in that area, but the Clippers shooting just 31% tonight. They were down as low as 17% in the first half when they really got off to that terrible start.
And a big factor tonight is Cavaliers capitalizing on the Clipper turnovers. 15 turnovers turned it into 26 points, and that's very good.
Well, Davis with a couple of free throw hits at the line. Cavaliers bump it up to 10 again. Maggette going baseline. Well, LeBron James challenged him, and that is not what Paul Silas was looking for. To get the clock stopped and let the Clippers shoot free throws.
Yeah, smart play by the Clippers. Don't just come down and launch a three. Take it hard to the basket. If you get stopped and kick it out for a three, all well and good, but you throw it up there. Usually the defensive team doesn't want to commit a foul there. There was no question he got hacked.
Corey Maggette, 4 of 16 on the night. Quentin Richardson, 5 of 19. Between the two top scorers in this ball club, and they're in the top 14, the two of them in the NBA. Just 9 of 35 from the floor tonight.
And the Clippers are not going to win very many games with those two shooting like that.
Maggette will drop a pair of free throws. Cavaliers lead it by 8. James will trigger, and Ricky Davis will go to the free throw line. They'll try to get the Cavaliers to the century mark.
Well, the Clippers have been giving up over the century mark.
Yeah.
Highest in the league at just under 105 a game. But that's the tempo they're playing. That's the pace they're playing. They probably figure without Elton Brand, no sense trying to play a half-court game. And most teams in the league are not used to playing an up-and-down game. And the Clippers just might have the advantage. They certainly did in the last 4 games, and all of which they've won.
For the Cavaliers last season in going 17-65, win number 4 did not happen until December 11th, the 23rd game of the year. So the Cavaliers about 3 weeks and 12 games ahead of the pace they were a year ago. Ricky Davis will comply and make 16,000 plus happy at the gun. Cavaliers by 10. Don't want any more whistles. Maggette's runner didn't go down. Eddie House will launch that long tray that goes down. 7-point game, 11 seconds left. Ricky Davis will go right back to the free throw line.
Well, if Ricky Davis can continue to knock down these free throws, he's 8 for 8 in the game, but just 17 for 29. 58% coming in, and of course we all know Ricky Davis is not a 58% free throw shooter, at worst in the high 70s. But these are confidence builders. Even though the game looks salted away, you get to the free throw line, you make them coming down the stretch, you feel better. I knew I yapped too much.
We talked about it at the beginning of the show tonight. Darius Miles will help get the Cavaliers off to a quick start. Man, this is a big week now. 4 games in 5 nights, a pair of back-to-backs as Davis splits the pair. Mike Dunleavy's going to burn a timeout. And for this young